Welcome to the Let's Talk About Talking podcast with your host, Adrienne Fuller, language and communications expert for kids of all ages. On this podcast, we talk about speech, language, and all things happening with your child, giving you specific tactical information you can use to help your kids talk, listen, and thrive in their academic journey.
Good afternoon. I'm coming on just a little early today. I have an evaluation a little later, so I wanted to come on. It's like exercising. If I don't do it early, I won't do it late. So I'm Adrienne from Speech Builder Speech and Language Therapy right here in Apopka, Florida. And today is nap time, chat time. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. This live is for all people that work with toddlers or kids not yet talking, specifically parents and caregivers. And so when I say that, I mean parents, step-parents, grandparents, foster parents, aunts, uncles, teachers, principals, preschool directors, anyone who works with kids and you are beginning to see some of the issues or that come along with a speech delay, which can be things like not talking, or frequent tantrums. We often see that. And sometimes it's not a kid that's spoiled. It's just because a kid that is not able to express himself any other way but screaming. And so do keep that in mind if you have a kid with a tantrum. Sometimes it's just too much and they can't talk. So the only way they communicate is screaming or hitting. And so we'll pull up on that for right now, but I just wanted to let you know that. Okay. All right. So we always do a book spotlight and I feel like I'm not centered. And so today's is, I had to go to my own personal library. So I'm going to date myself, but it is Baby Donald Makes a Snow Friend. Now I treat a little bit or see kids a little bit now. When I did it a lot, I love to always pair reading and concepts in a book. I highly recommend that you do that too. And so this one is a lot of shapes. And so when you're reading a book with your 2-year-old, remember, it doesn't need to be long. I have another one that I really liked, but it's very long. And so if you have a book or you're kind of like, I really need a book, but we don't have a board book, go ahead and get a regular book, but you don't have to read what's in there. So I'll either abbreviate when there's a lot of text. Now, some kids, I once had a dream child and her parents are very dear to me. I don't want to call her name because it's a privacy thing, but she would sit there and read with me for like the entire book. She was just that, she had that temperament. A lot of our kids don't, and that's okay. Let's find something that works better. But if I can always abbreviate, or you can make up a story. They can't read, so go ahead and make it up. Look at Mr. Bluefish. Look at Mr. Greenfish. That's all you would have to say on that. Or you could say the parrotfish's teeth grow together to make a beak like a bird's, which it uses to bite into coral. So it's a very interesting fact. It would probably go over a kid's head. So if you have a book with a lot of print, don't worry about reading it exactly. You can just make it up. Now, just a reminder, when you are reading with your child, you are going to read the book. And while you're reading the book, you're pointing out the things that you see. Oh, I see the orange circle and the red square and the yellow rectangle. So you're gonna want to do that, and also just read the book in its entirety. And I like this book because it's got very few words, but you can read it and it will keep the child's attention. So this might say something like, now baby Donald goes to play. He takes some things. So you can read it all the way through and then go back and look, or you can do it in the middle. Now baby Donald goes out to play. He takes some things. Look, baby Donald is jumping. my goodness, I see 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. And I see a green bow. So I'm just highlighting what I see. Look, baby Donald is playing with the blocks. He's putting them in the bag. So just things like that are very, very good for our kids with a speech delay. Little short books like this. Now, you know what else I want to talk to you about today? 2 sets of 3 magic words that get many kids talking when they are impaired or they're not quite talking as much as you'd like. So remember, by the time a child is 2, we want them to have about 50 words. So if you start to write them down in your phone or just write them down on a piece of paper, at 2 they should have about that. So if not, that could be an indicator that we need to saturate their language, their environment with language. And sometimes I like to use 3 magic words. Ready, set, go. And so when you're using those 3 magic words, I have a visual. I'm a former teacher. So I have this with me. And remember, last week we were talking about our foundational skills. So I'll turn it this way so you're not distracted. But cars are probably the easiest thing to do ready, set, go with. But ready, set, go. I don't know if you can see. And then you just roll it. Just roll. Okay? And then you can always say, would you like to do it? Do it again. Now that's a sign for do it again. Would you like to do it again? Many speech therapists or parents will say more. I love more, but sometimes I like to pair more with what it is. Because if we're just teaching kids more, sometimes I'm like, they'll say more, but after a while you won't know what they're talking about. So more is a great start. So do you want more? More car? Or car? Sometimes I go straight to the word car. And then I'll use my magic 3 words. Ready, set, go. And you can do that. And then you're going to want to fade, Mom. You're going to want to fade, Grandma or Grandpa. And try that again. Fade the cue. So you'll say ready, set. Hopefully the kid will say go. But give it a pause and wait. Ready, set, go. And then if they're in a room and your child loves to move, roll the car or roll the balls a little bit far so they have to run and get it. So they're spending that energy, but they have a task and it's not just them sitting. Okay. And so if you don't like ready, set, go, why wouldn't you like ready, set, go? You can always try 1, 2, 3. That's another one. I love counting. I don't know why, but 1, 2, and then fade or wait. 3. All right. So use that and then just wait and ask, would you like to do it again? Would you like to roll the car again? 1, 2, or ready, set. All right. So as you're going about your way today or you're playing with your little one, remember, I'm always a huge fan of getting those 5-minute bursts, those 15-minute, 20-minute bursts with your little ones. They will not probably sit for hours at a time, but they will sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just work your way up from there. Okay, just a reminder, if you're watching us on Instagram or on YouTube, remember, I've just finished a book called 30 Days to Get Your Toddler Talking. It is actually on sale for the first 2 weeks, and so it's 25% off. You can find it on Amazon. I also have a link down below or in my bio. 30 Days to Get Your Toddler Talking. It is a short read. As a busy parent, you don't need long books unless you're reading for pleasure, which I love to do. But it's a short read. It's kind of interactive because I want you to take data on your child before and then after. And the goal is to get your child using more words and spending more time on task. Okay. So that is it for today. 1 hour early. I'm going to head on out to that evaluation, but I'm always thinking about you on Wednesday. And parents, I want you to remember, you are the best thing for your child. So I just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I know it's a busy time. I know it's a little bit of a lot's going on right now, and that's what life is. Sometimes it's like this and sometimes it's like this. So if you find that you're just feeling a little like overwhelmed or just like, I can't do it all, you are the best thing for your child. And so just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the Let's Talk About Talking podcast with your host, Adrienne Fuller, language and communications expert for kids of all ages. You can grab Adrienne's book, 30 Days to Get Your Toddler Talking, on Amazon or at speechbuilders.org.